All right, everybody, welcome back to Champions of the Fog. I'm going to be your host, littlerugaard. Today, joining me is the ever wonderful JuniKoh. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing well. How are you?
Doing fantastic. I'm ready for the guys' game. How about you guys introduce ourselves, because we've got a game coming very, very quickly. So, 1, 2, 3, go.
For anyone who might just be joining, hello and welcome. I'm JuniKoh.
And I'm JuniKoh215.
And when our powers combine, we form JuniKoh. We're sisters.
And Variety Couch
We
Streamers.
play a lot of Dead by Daylight, and we're friends with the ever amazing littlerugaard.
That's right. And tonight we are going to be your co-hosts here. That's not tonight, really. It's this afternoon. But we are co-hosting the Champions of the Fogs, and we are so excited.
That was that was a fantastic intro. Every time I hear that, it throws me off. It's just so well rehearsed, and I think my dogs even agree because I hear them barking in the background. But we're actually loading into the match very quickly. We have Deadheads versus Shadow Wolves. We're gonna be playing on Gas Heaven. We have the Twins coming up, and seriously, we're saying this. Like, look at this. We're actually straight up in the loading screen already. Like, these two teams were on top of the ball today. So I don't think this team needs too much introduction. We've seen both Shadow Wolves and Deadheads before. I'm expecting a pretty good match today, especially starting off with Twins. I'm expecting something grindy here. How do you think the survivors are going to handle a Twins? In pubs, you get pub stomped normally, but comps are a completely different thing. What strats do you think they're going to bring out here?
I mean, we would just pray, but that doesn't sound like a viable strategy. I mean, you know, the easiest thing that we know how to do is take the little gremlin for a ride. You know, if he hops on, don't give it back right away. Go as long as you can.
That's right.
That is absolutely fair. Also, I've got some side noise. I apologize. There we go. All right, we're good. We're back into the game. So we see Kashak breaking the Gas Heaven door right off the bat. I approve. That is really annoying to loop as soon as you get over there, and all of a sudden a survivor takes the window, like, oh wait, there's a door still here. So getting rid of that door right off the bat. It does find Claudette at the shack. I think he's gonna get a hit here. He does.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I think your strat might be true here. I think Claudette's gonna take the gremlin on a little piggyback ride. Now the question is, can her team call out where the Twins is coming from? Because she is pretty blind to the Twins at the moment.
And the thing to remember is you got to keep trying to get him off, but then you got to let go at the last second because you don't want to give her that location.
Right. Very good point. I keep forgetting that that's a thing because it's like, wait, why can't I see why can't I see Victor? Oh, that's right. Oh, there we see that little blip right there. So, they actually
God Palette is down and is gone.
God Palette's down, but also notice Victor's back with Charlotte already. So Claudette actually ditched Victor entirely there. And a totem going down the background. We did see Ruin was there, so I'm wondering if that might have been Ruin or not. He does get a hit on Nia instead. So Victor's spreading the love a bit here.
The other thing to keep in mind is for me, I'll try very hard to stay healed as much as I can during this match. There are some killers where, you know, if you're injured for a lot of the match, you're going to be all right. But as soon as you get your whole team injured and Victor on the run, that can be big trouble.
True, and Nancy dropping all these pallets, not wanting to take any hits here. And is going to end up dodging. This is now effectively a dead zone. Both pallets at this are gone. The door's down. This is no longer a looping area.
Very early to be dropping those things.
And Corrupt has just ended, and oh yeah, oh wow, he came back for the pallet. I don't know if I would have done that. He obviously had balanced landing. Yeah, I would have ran. I think he might be trapped here with Victor.
Take that balanced and go.
Yeah.
Because now you're in big trouble.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that might have been a little bit ambitious. I think he goes down here, and worth noting, survivors are constantly resetting, and I can go ahead and tell you guys why. There is thanatophobia. The survivors know about it already. They're just gonna hop in the locker. If she get over there in time to get the locker play, I think she does.
Yeah, she does. Oh,
they picked up Quentin, but
rough start.
That is not good.
Is there a flashlight save? No flashlight save either. Yeah, this is. However, it is worth noting.
Oh no.
We're over 2 minutes into the game, and this is the first hook. No gens have been done yet.
I was about to say, you know, we are one survivor down, one survivor in basement, no God pallet, no pallets at main building, and no generators done. This is a rough position to try and come back from.
Well, they did just pop that first one. But
they're going to have to use their resources very, very smartly for the rest of the game.
Also, so I just noticed this. Whenever I have my mouse up here now, it just makes this entire bar black. So I'm going to go down here. I apologize. I just now noticed that the entire bar went black at the top of that. Is that new? Bit off topic. I apologize.
I don't think so.
Okay. I don't remember it being that dark when I hovered over, but oh well. Anyway, so yeah, a basement hook this early. Yeah, for one gen, it's like 1-to-1. It's like fine, but it's twins. It's a basement hook. Although I will say they're not really playing into camping that basement very hard. It feels like so. Yeah, and Quinn's gonna go over here. Quinn's gonna get a free unhook, I believe. Like even if God Pallet's gone, like Victor's not gonna get over here in time. He's gonna get the unhook and everything. So kind of surprising here. Well, he does get a little bit of interrupt.
No, he doesn't. Oh,
Wow.
Little interrupt there, but even then you're still able to unhook. So
Question is, can she get over there to make use of the fact that? Oh,
I think she does.
they're both over here. This is a bit dangerous. Okay, Nia baiting the DS here. Do you take the? I think you. Yeah, she's gonna take the gamble.
they've
Do you
got
have?
2 gens down.
And they do have the DS. They were, in fact, not bluffing. And yeah, the second gen getting done here. Victor is returned, and pressure is a little bit reset here. Obviously, the survivors still have to heal up, and yeah, we see Nancy healing up. I imagine Quentin is heading over there to also heal up wherever that gen popped. Ooh, they do see a survivor in the distance, though. Claudia is running to the gas heaven, but however, all the pallets are gone. They're doing a decent job of splitting the pressure. Doing a really decent job of splitting the pressure here, but besides that, I don't know. We may be sitting down for a very grindy game. I'm curious what 3-gen they're trying to hold on to. Maybe this one here. Gonna just break the pallet. Yeah, they're taking a very leisurely pace of the game, I would say.
I am really worried about the lack of resources, though, that these survivors have on the map now, because playing Survivor is such a long game, and you have to think about what am I going to need now, what am I going to need later. You know, when am I okay with taking the hook versus when do I really need to avoid it? And I look out over here now, and there is not a lot left, and
That's true.
I am worried for our friends.
That is a very good point, and there are gens in this area, so it's not like they do need these resources. That's a very good point. Victor cutting them off a little bit.
Pick her up. Ooh, nicely played.
All right. I'm curious. The thing is, though, like, they still haven't got a hook. The survivors don't have a lot of resources, but if they just keep cat and mousing, if they don't have a hook to try and hold down,
True.
they need something here, and no survivor over here to be seen. Oh, never mind. There were 2, and they are gone. Heading towards Shack. They have it. Okay, so they have a TNL. I didn't see what tile they had over here at first, so it's a TNL wall over near Shack. Ooh, but they got the slow wall.
That was a nice hit.
Nice play on the twins' part.
Good mind game there, and they are going to get the hit on Nia. However, yeah, I must say, I think you need to deploy Victor here and just try and get a slug game going. I would imagine if you're playing against twins, you might even have Soul Guard in case they have, a Hex, but obviously you broke the Hex. Ruin is gone. We don't see Gens Regress anymore, so Ruin is out of the game. So Soul Guard wouldn't be as good, but I imagine they're definitely taking an Unbreakable here. You don't not take Unbreakable against twins, right?
No, oh God, of course not. You have to have someone with it. Otherwise, you are just going to get slugged and everyone is going to go. Unless you've got some really crazy hook spread that is advantageous to you. There's not much you can do.
That's a smart move from Nancy, making where she's not going to get slugged out immediately. But Quentin will take an injury here. So, honestly, okay, they got a little bit of pressure here, but they've got to go all the way over here to pick up this Nia, and Nia already gets picked up. Oh, yeah. I bet there's a We're Gonna Live Forever in this game.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Yep.
Though, it is worth noticing, Quentin is broken, and so now we can reveal this killer has Force Penance, which is really bizarre to me, but at the same time, I kind of get it. One of the counterplays of twins is taking hits for your teammates constantly, but if they're broken, that means that you can't heal them to full health, which means the Nanophobia is going to get a lot more value in the long run. I think what they were trying to do there is hit the Nancy so that they're both broken, but wasn't quite able to get it. And yeah, I agree with not going for that slug. Yeah, okay, Nancy probably has the We're Gonna Live Forever because that was a very quick pickup on the Quentin.
Yes, it was.
Ooh. Good bait there.
The thing that's hard here, though, is that the survivors are doing an excellent job healing each other up, so that the Natophobia is not as big of a thing. But the problem is they're spending all of this time to heal up, and they're not getting a lot done for it. They haven't gotten a gen done in minutes, and that's pretty concerning. The Natophobia is one of my least favorite perks as a survivor, just because you just know the game is going to slog on forever.
That's very fair. And also worth throwing. Okay, so I was really confused what happened right there. So she threw a firecracker and then dead hearted through the pallet, and Victor just kind of slid off because of the dead hard. They do a gen there, so they are slowly working through them. It's just, yeah, you're having to slog through thanatophobia, which I agree. Thanatophobia is quite painful to go through sometimes as a survivor. That is very true.
Our killer needs to get a hook here because they're doing a really good job of keeping split up, keeping each other healed, and also it seems working on the generators. So she's got to get somebody on hook to get pressure so she can go for the whoever's going for the rescue and put more pressure on the team as a whole.
No, I completely agree.
Otherwise,
go ahead.
yeah, they're just gonna keep healing and nothing's gonna happen.
No, I completely agree. And these survivors are doing a good job coordinating. And look, they keep taking chase where they still have resources. The center of the map is a dead zone, but they're making sure not to take chase there anymore. They're going into this corner over here where it's just they have safe pallets. They got tiles to run through. However, I think they are going to try and dedicate this one. Another gen getting popped here, and that gen back we heard that getting worked on. They might be getting a 4 out here potentially. I'm not sure. The game, they never kept a snowball. I think they had a basement hook. I think they should have played the basement hook a lot more aggressively. I guess they didn't want to potentially give up the center, but
man, knowing the Nancy is around, I would not have left Quentin on the ground there.
I agree.
I think that was
They might be dedicating to this last gen. There is a gen next to here that they are working on, I believe. So,
but this will only be hook 2, so it's not like they are in a need to prevent Quentin from getting hooked.
No, they can let Quentin hang for 120 seconds in theory.
Yeah.
You don't really want to, but you can.
And if they have kinship, it's even more. So, well, actually, there's 2 gens that they can work. Actually, this might be a really nasty hook potentially. That is 2 gens there. Victor, wait.
Oh, there it goes.
There
they
it
got
goes.
it.
There it goes.
Didn't realize that gen was even being worked on.
Wow.
I
wonder
did you guys see it being worked on? I didn't see it.
There must have been 2 or 3 on that gen to get it done.
I did not, because I didn't see anyone over there.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody either. That was insane.
So she's left Victor in the shop.
I wonder why that is.
Well, there is an exit over there.
Huh. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. I didn't see that gen being done. I guess it was just a mistake. The twin. Okay, I guess the thing is, I guess they couldn't really cat and mouse those survivors off the gen. So, well played. But I think we're looking at a 4-man here potentially. Well, no, there's no DS. They waited out the bar time. Now they're activating Victor. Interesting. Are they checking to see if this exit gate's being worked on? No, I think they're coming around to see. Yeah, Victor might have been in a kind of a rough spot here. Yeah, they're gonna get a 3 out at least. They're leaving Quentin to die. Really, really strong game from these survivors. They played.
Wow.
I think they would. I think it's. You could argue they played pretty much perfectly against twins. I mean, it was a sloggy, slow, grindy game, but
Yeah.
they did the gens. They got a 3 out.
And I'm surprised because when she got that Nia hooked in the basement, I thought for sure that this could have some snowball potential, but they played around it beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
They did.
They really did. I think the twins should have camped it more, and as soon as they saw that the twins was away for even a second, Quentin went and got the unhook, and they were able to reset. They did a really, really good job here. I was impressed. Wow. Yeah. I'm kind of shocked here. I did not expect the twins to struggle that much.
It looks like that Nancy, who did have We're Gonna Live Forever, also had Botany on top of that.
Oh,
so that,
man.
He was picking up so fast and healing right away.
Those are some mega heals there. Actually, so that even makes sense that you have the Unbreakable on the We're Gonna Live Forever Botany. So if you all get slugged out, as soon as they get picked up, they're the quickest heals. So, wow, really well played.
Really smart.
Yeah, and they had the med kit too, so they could heal themselves as necessary. So this was their designated reset person. These guys obviously had a very strong strategy in this game and were able to execute. Very, very strong game from Survivors match 1. And I believe that's going to leave Shadow Wolves 18 to Deadheads 9 going into the second part of the set. Oh, okay. You guys obviously had some predictions that actually came true there. But have you played against twins enough to where you guys, you know, you can kind of you guys have this sixth sense when it comes to playing against them? Do you just have the knowledge?
Us?
Yeah.
No.
You guys made some calls there. It's like, well, they need to get Gen done. Gen gets done. Oh, they need to reset. They reset.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just we actually don't go against the twins that much. To be honest, our thinking was more we go against the Thanaphobia a lot.
Yeah.
And the Thanaphobia can just be one of those perks that it just ruins a game, you know, and if you're not smart and finding a way to keep yourselves healed and keep the killer distracted and do the gens, then, you know,
Game's gonna last forever.
It's especially hard if you get a killer like Legion. Because Legion is a killer that kind of facilitates being far away from everybody, which means the healing is going to be so much harder. So it's
true.
It's one of those perks that you know we've spent a lot of time going against, and I'm glad we sounded like we knew what we were talking about.
Well, the difference between the issue is that Legion, you can afford to stay injured like most of the time because Legion's a 115 killer. Charlotte is a 115 killer that has a built-in Demogorgon.
Yeah.
So you can't afford to be injured for too long against the twins. And to be fair, twins, the counterplay, like I say, the Legion is you stay far apart. The counterplay to twins is you stay together. You stay in groups of two, so that way whenever Victor does anything you don't like, you kick him and you're good to go.
Which is a thing that we definitely know and implement in our own gameplay stratagem all the time. Against twins, we always stay together. We never split up because why would we do that? That would be foolish.
Don't you guys always stay together, never split up?
Yes, of course.
Of course.
Always.
Always.
We always stay together and never split up.
Oh goodness. Anyway, so honestly, really good stuff from the survivors. I think they did a really, really good job against the twins. But next up is going to be Deathslinger. So I'm surprised how much Deathslinger we're seeing post nerf. I would have considered this killer not something to be brought really ever again in comp, just because the counterplay to him just feels so rough now. Like before, you still there's a significant amount of counterplay to Deathslinger beforehand. As long as you were going to maps where you couldn't be seen over really easily, or there's tiles that you could hide to line of sight, Deathslinger just suffered. Like even if you have like the quick aim down sights, but now his aim down sights is slower. I'm really curious what they're going to be trying to do here because while we're still in the lobby, Solar Blazer is going to be our killer. So I've never seen Solar Blazer play Deathslinger. I guess we'll just have to see how it goes. I don't know. You guys have gone against Deathslinger enough. What do you think about his post nerf? Is he still viable?
You know, to be honest, since his nerf, we
haven't seen him very much.
barely see him anymore.
Like
And
maybe once.
you know, and Deathslinger, you know, so for us, there are killers that we go against, and you know, we're like, oh, we're gonna die. You know, like these days, if we're going against a Wraith, we're like, oh, we're gonna die.
Yeah.
And
That's done.
Deathslinger was kind of on that list for a while, and now it's not because you know you can play around the fact that he has to take longer to look down his sights. You know, and the ones we do see, they're all coming with like you know eerie add-ons or very rare add-ons or you know, and it feels like they are working hard to get it done, as opposed to in the past when it really felt like much more it felt like it was a much more manageable game for them. But Kid Rock do be struggling these days.
Kid do be struggling.
For real though, like for what I would just use double reload add-ons. I never really saw his eerie add-ons just feel kind of lackluster. I will say Rusted, I think it was Prison Chains, feels pretty okay. I still just prefer the fast reload add-ons. I think his add-ons just in general don't seem to add that much for him personally. I don't see much diversity among Deathslingers taking it anymore. So no, you're really working if you're working on killing him.
I think we can count on one hand the number of Deathslingers we've seen since the nerf.
Yeah.
We rarely see a Deathslinger. We've seen a huge uptick in Wraith, which is upsetting.
I mean, Wraith's buff made him so much more viable.
Oh my god, it's awful. It's
awful.
Yeah, man, going against a Wraith these days, it's impossible.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, when you're our skill level, when you're like very, very good, you know, it's doable. But you know, I don't know.
Really? I always thought Wraith was kind of easy. You just pre-drop pallets everywhere and just make sure that you don't get him doing a mind game with you at an unsafe pallet, and you should be fine.
Yeah, but all the wraiths right now that we've been seeing
Have been using Bone Clapper.
have been using no, not Bone Clapper, Coxcomb. They've been using
sorry.
Coxcomb, and they've been doing like all seeing and like
Okay.
oh my god, it's brutal. Although granted, we do both run under JuniKoh TTV,
We
so
do.
I mean we kind of have a target on our back.
We
That is
do.
fair.
But
You guys should definitely be running DS. I feel like TTV should just always run DS because the likelihood that they're going to get tunneled out just for kicks and giggles.
So I've actually
Yeah.
never used DS. I actually
Really?
just bought it from the shrine a couple
Mhm.
weeks ago when it was there. Yeah, and I still haven't. I've leveled it up to level 3, but I haven't put it on yet to try it.
I'd be excited to see you try it.
Ugh, I don't know.
It's a fun perk when you hit it. When you don't, it's definitely a bummer. But when you do, it's pretty great.
That's
Good
fair.
feeling.
That is fair. So, so we talked about Deathslinger versus post nerf. Twins was the same way. I feel like post nerf. As soon as Twins when they got their first nerf against Victor, we saw significantly less of them. And since then, every single nerf that we've seen, we just see less and less of Twins. I wonder if this is going to be like a theme going forward.
I find it really interesting that behavior continues to nerf the Twins. That's something to me that I don't quite understand, like nerfing add-ons and such, just
Mhm.
because she's already, I mean, I feel like she's hard to go against, but from everything all of our other friends say, she's actually not that hard to go against in like lower ranks. And I know that they said, in lower ranks she gets rolled, but in high ranks,
Right.
But you have to wonder how much of the community is actually playing at like a super high MMR,
True.
Yeah.
And so I think it's interesting that they keep kind of nerfing certain killers that like we don't even see very much,
Mm-hmm.
No,
that's very fair. For one thing, I noticed that like I knew a lot of Twins players that they played very, very strong at a high level, and after the nerfs, they just gave up because they became much more difficult to play in comp because comp counterplay to Twins. It feels like a slogfest, and 30 minutes is playing a killer in one game is mentally
It's a lot.
deteriorating. At least when you're like on a survivor team, you're like, you have each other to talk to, and it's not like all about you.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. I don't know. And I get that like Twins can still be a pub stomper if you're facing solo queues, or if it's not at least a 3-man, you have a significant advantage because you have no coordination from them. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I obviously I don't agree with either of the nerfs to Deathslinger or Twins, but that's just me. I have a very specific perspective, I guess, in this case.
I don't know. I'm pretty pleased with the Deathslinger nerf. I'm pretty pleased about that one. I like that. I feel like I can, I can run a little. I can like, I don't know. I felt like before we would, well, granted this was also before SBMM, that we saw them a lot. And you would get these Deathslingers who were real good and they would just flick shot you so fast. And it was like,
Yeah.
how? How? And then you would get the really good ones who hook you and drag you, and they know to pull you towards a corner, because then when you rip off, you're going to run into the corner and you lose all your momentum and you go down again real fast. So at least being able to potentially dodge that first hit, I am very pleased with. But I imagine a lot of Deathslinger players were quite unhappy.
Yeah, he's very, very difficult to play now. And I understand that he still has some playability, but I don't know. He feels... I don't think they should have double nerfed him. Either nerf the terror radius or nerf the aim down size. I think doing it's the same thing for Billy. I don't think they should have both just completely gutted his add-ons and also give him an overheat. I hate double nerfing killers because I hate to use this analogy probably because it doesn't make sense, but we see it all the time in like when Magic has bans in Magic the Gathering. They banned a card when really it wasn't that card's fault. It was a new card they printed. And
yeah, that suddenly made it stronger.
yeah, there's boogeymans that aren't. It's the same thing for boons. I'm glad they're not going and inherently nerfing boons yet. I'm glad they're starting with Circle of Healing because I feel like Circle of Healing could be the boogeyman for boons. But they just they look at killers and like, this killer's strong. ka-thunk. And we saw the same thing with Freddy. They nerfed both Freddy's Dream Snare chases as well as his add-ons that were good. They should have just nerfed one. I don't know. I don't know. I might be going on a rampage here.
So if you're going into this match,
Okay.
and you have decided to play Deathslinger, which it sounds like you probably wouldn't, but if you are, what is your strategy going to be here, knowing that he has new kind of limitations and such?
Playing as the Deathslinger? I mean, okay. The thing, this is also the thing that just blows my mind. This map is technically very large if you don't have certain things in your kit, because you've got 2 massive car walls. I think I would hope that there is enough RNG in my favor that there's some sort of 3-gen that spawns in the open-ish area where the cars are, in the middle between the car wall and Gas Heaven, and hope that you can hold something down there, because to be fair, there is a large center area that is very open that Deathslinger can get his shots off. So I'm going to assume that Solar Blazer is just very, very good with his accuracy and can get the shots that they're available. I mean, this is not the map I would take him on. I feel like this map is going to be very rough, just because he's a 110 killer. You've got 2 very long car walls that are very safe for looping for the survivors because you could duck in and out. You just got that center area. So I don't know.Maybe he'll play the center area. I can't say for sure, but we are loading into the match slowly. I guess we'll have to see how Solar Blazer plays it.
I hate to interject, but this map was replaced with the Thompson House. That one, so he originally was going to play Deathslinger on Thompson House. The original play was not Gas Heaven.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Does that
right.
make it better? Thompson House is rough.
I'm not sure, but that was just a side note.
Okay, that is a fair point. Yeah. Okay, so that is right. Thompson House is currently out of the map pool because there is an issue regarding hook spawns. There is a hook that can spawn at Thompson House, and the survivors literally can't do an unhook if the killer says so. So we have loaded in.
You wanted to move your mouse down.
Oh, you are correct. Thank you very much. And we see the corrupt side is actually, this corrupt is entirely on one side. This is interesting here. And they do find a survivor. That was a fantastic shot.
Wow.
All right.
Maybe the strat here is just to be really good.
Yeah, there you go.
Because that was a nice shot.
That was a very good shot. And it reminds me of I don't even remember the name of the band, but it's a Hey Man, Nice Shot. Though, to be fair, it's a much more awful song. And he gets it down very quickly. Good mind game.
I took that vault knowing that, because you know when you're running to a vault like that you're going to get got.
Yeah, this is a very quick down.
Wow.
All right.
I mean, we were all going in here worried for our killer, but I think that I am going to be more worried for the survivors.
We might have a point here. That's like, to be fair, this killer is far less grindy than Twins, but that is a very early down. We just passed a minute on the corrupt zone, and Deathslinger expecting a survivor. Oh, he does see a survivor, but not quite able to get the shot here. One thing I'm noticing is that one thing is when you're aiming down sights, your sensitivity goes much lower. I'm wondering if they have an alternate sensitivity for when they are in the aim down sights, because I'm noticing he doesn't have any problem swinging his gun around. Slinging his gun around? Sorry, I had to.
Oh.
And he does find someone. This is what I'm talking about. The car wall is just atrocious for Deathslinger.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to loop this as a 110 killer. It is absolutely pain. They're taking full advantage of this too. And first gen for the survivors does get done here. And they're just gonna look at this.
Oh,
this
man.
is exactly what I'm talking about. I feel so bad for this Deathslinger.
Miserable. He's got to get this shot here, or it's essentially going to reset again.
He does get the shot
There
though.
we go.
Nice.
So fantastic job there. And however, Feng will be able to get away here. They are not going to they're not going to get tunneled here. They are going to go after the field. Ooh, good dead hard. Actually,
Nice dead hard.
I don't know if the dead was entirely necessary, but oh my word.
Oh boy.
Wow.
He got a little stuck on that truck, and that he lost some of his momentum there, and I think that might have unfortunately led to what we just witnessed.
I would say yes, but also I can't believe the Deathslinger got the, like, he had to, like, wrap around to get that hit. And another gen coming down from these survivors. Ooh, Fang Min is here. Oh, we didn't get the shot on Fang!
That is disappointing.
Oh my goodness. Okay, never mind. This Deathslinger is cracked. He's going for the slug game.
Yep.
And he gets a shot.
Oh my god.
Holy moly, we are cracked at Fortnite, my guy.
Oh my word. My voice might just get shot with this first game here in this set. Holy cow.
This is a bad scenario because that Felix is still on the ground.
They did get,
Oh,
Claudette did pick him up. Yeah, Claudette
But
did
he
run over there.
definitely-
But Deathslinger
Oh, boy.
just made a conscious decision to hook Fang again, though.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. That's a very good point. So Fang is now on Death Hook. I'm about to say that's a little bit far. However, yeah, I think Fang might get the Death Hook here. If there's no kinship here on Fangman, I think she's gonna die. However, I think her wiggle timer paused. I think she has kinship. I think that's kinship right there.
Wow. Well,
All right.
if that's the case, there's got to be somebody around.
Ooh, good attempt there. Well,
That was a
we
good
saw
attempt.
Felix go over and I guess activate. Yeah, that is kinship. So Felix did activate kinship on this Fang Min. That is the best case scenario for the survivors. And we
Yes, it
see Claudette getting a reset there. I imagine Felix is also going to get reset. So the survivors are wasting no time. And I imagine we might even see a gen get done here, as that kinship does now expire. So this Claudette has about 40 seconds left on hook before they go. And
So now, no, go ahead.
Go for it. Go for it.
Well, I was just gonna say. So now, if it's me in this, and I'm thinking about how do we do this with everybody reset, I think you send exactly what they're doing. You send 2 people to hook so that if one person gets got, the other person can get that rescue. You've got some body blocking potential there as well. A nice
Dead
dead
hard
hard, but
again.
unfortunately he's just exposed that Fang pretty badly, and I have a feeling
That's how I turn
And he's
back.
gonna go right
that
back
he's
after
gonna
the
get
Fang.
her.
Yep.
He wants to get somebody out early.
Yes, he does.
Makes sense. However, she is now in the shed. And it is worth noting, he did dead hard, but he made a conscious decision to come back and let Deathslinger hit him to give Fang more chance to run. I think it's very smart. Oh, we see a
what a
med
good-
kit dropped there.
What a good teammate does.
I think Fang was going to go to get that med kit and heal up, but they didn't get a chance. They said, no, he's on me. I gotta run. Interesting. So does he
Question
take a
is, can she
slug?
go back and get it now?
I don't
'Cause
know.
he's left for her.
Mm-hmm. That is interesting. Another gen getting popped here. Yeah, I think he's gonna go ahead and get this hook. He knows where Fang is.
Honestly, I think leaving that Felix down was the smart choice on the survivor's part, because now he has a reason to go back and hook him as opposed to continuing to pursue that Fang, which gives her a chance to heal back up.
Yep, which hopefully she is doing. We've yet to see Leon in this match, though. Leon has been our gen jockey, which is a good place to be right now.
It's
For
hard
sure.
because sometimes as survivor, you see someone down and you always want to go pick them up, but there are times when it is definitely more beneficial. Oh, is that deliverance?
That is deliverance.
Oh,
He
the
got
timing
that
on that.
shot.
Oh
my
holy
God.
moly!
He got behind the rock, so
Wow.
it didn't end in death, but that was a phenomenal shot.
Yes, it was.
That was a beautiful play by both of them.
Yeah, and Felix playing very smart here and playing that corner and
Leading
not
at that
showing
corner,
anything.
yep.
Fang has
Very
officially
patient.
reset.
Oh,
no! Oh, that's
All right.
disappointing.
Wow.
Is there a decisive? That is the question. Does Kashak have the decisive strike? He does. Deliverance
Oh,
decisive.
yes.
Did Deathslinger
And there goes-
reload? No, he didn't yet. Okay. Another gen
There goes
popping
down
here.
pallet.
Fang has healed up, so she's in a pretty good spot.
It is worth noting, I think if they hook one more survivor, as long as they get a kill, I think they can pull out the win because the twins had a 1K with 2 different survivors hooked. Oh, there's that Leon you were talking about. They have found the gen jockey. Ooh. Look,
He
look
did
at
a
it
nice
zoning.
bob and weave.
I think the Deathslayer wasn't gonna take the shot. I think he was just gonna zone the Leon here.
Yep, and then he'll go for it.
There's too many survivor names. I keep getting them mixed up now. I'm like, it's a Felix. No, it's a Leon. I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
There we go. Yep, and that was very smart on
That
his
was a
part. Because
nice play.
it means he's not going to waste time reloading.
Mm-hmm.
Get that down real quick. Hook him.
And yeah, this will be first hook for Leon here. They are going to take a bit closer to this gen. A little bit of a spicy play here. I would have just hooked him and gone, but this is closer to your gen setup. I guess you can try to protect here. However, this is not a 3 gen. This is very, very spread out.
Not at all. And not only is it spread out, but you've got some key structures in the way. You've got this huge rock pile here. You've got the cars over by the other one.
And that's
you've got Shack.
That was a 4-piston pumping gen. That is not far off from popping.
True. However, it doesn't matter because the other gen was popped anyway. They were splitting it. We do see haste though, so no-ed is a factor. We'll see if they predicted this or not. It is worth noting, after the buff, and a no way out too. I expect potentially multiple kills here now.
I agree. This is a risky play. However, there is a survivor over here right by this totem, and if they spot it and call it out.
This survivor is very immersed. I don't know where they went. Deathslinger doesn't either. Oh, it looks like the Claudette snuck by.
There they are off in the distance.
Well done, well done. Well, yeah, we'll have to see if the Claudette noticed that that totem and if they called it out or not. However, they are. Oh, you know, I appreciate that shot.
Ooh, that would have been spicy.
I appreciate that shot. Appreciate that shot
That
too.
Also, that was very close.
That was very close.
Yeah, and there you go. That no-ed is getting cleansed. So Deathslinger here, I feel like they need to get a kill. If they can get a kill, they can secure this for their team. Uh-oh.
No, it's not.
I don't know if this is going to pay off. That Claudette is going to get a lot of distance here.
Yeah, that was a.
They stayed at Shack.
It sounds like he's staying at Shack. That seems like not the choice I would have made, but
that is a choice.
They may have not had the execute open in time. I don't know.
Oh no.
You can't afford to let. You have to 4-out this. In order to have a chance, I think you have to 4-out this. But yeah, they're gonna get this hook on Claudette, and I think it's gonna be a basement hook. Yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
And that, I think that means she could get left behind.
Yeah, if I was the survivors, that's a fresh hook too. That is the 4th hook on this team. So all survivors have been hooked. I think this will lead. Yeah, if they got 4 out here, I think this is just a win for them.
It's incredibly unfortunate that the Claude stayed at Shack because there were a lot of structures that she could have played with if she had just taken that distance. She could have avoided the basement hook, potentially given her friends a chance to, heal up and come get her because no-ed was out of the way, but unfortunately getting hooked in the basement just
kind of sealed that.
Yeah, it certainly did.
But regardless, honestly, it was really good play from this Deathslinger. You don't see many Deathslinger plays that are just that precise. There was so many shots. I'm like, how did you get that?
Yeah,
those shots were incredible. That one around the rock.
Oh right.
The Leon, that was unreal.
Yep.
Indeed, and I'm just checking out these perks real quick. So they had overcome. Yeah, they were see it. Oh yeah, this survivor was ready to play. Adrenaline's okay. Yeah, really good job. I'm curious if they had a particular strat. They did a really good job. You see this too often in comp where you seem to always find the survivor that has kinship right off the bat. It seems like just an inevitability. It's ridiculous.
Well, they used it very well to their benefit, and they did a great job giving that Fang time to heal up and get away.
Indeed, and with that is the end of set 1, and it looks like it's Shadow Wolves 35 to Deadheads 24. So they are going to take set 1, and we'll be jumping into set 2 here, which I believe is, we are going to be seeing an Executioner from Shadow Wolves now. And it looks like we're going to be switching lobbies, so they were going to have a different killer this time around. I have not been disappointed by the Executioner games I have seen this far in Champions of the Fog. I have been pleasantly surprised to see how good these killers are on Executioner. It's been a fantastic game every single time.
It really has.
We've only been able to see the one, but the one we saw was Guiltspire, and that was beautifully done.
Yes, it was.
It was very well executed.
I'm leaving.
I don't know. I was going to go with it was fantastic.
Well, yeah, it was fantastic.
Oh my goodness. I see how it is. I'm getting bullied over here. But no, I agree. It was really fun. And
every time you come into our chat now, they say hi Rugaard, #fantastic. Have you noticed that yet?
Yes. Yes, I have. Thank you. Thanks for that. Oh man. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think Guildspire actually plays a fair amount of Executioner. And the thing that always blows my mind is they play Executioner with Pain Resonance, which seeing a killer that oftentimes doesn't hook for strategic reasons is really weird to see Pain Resonance on. I still don't understand. Even when Guildspire explained it to me, I still don't fully understand or agree with it. It just seems so weird to me.
Well, Pinhead is one of those killers. Pinhead reminds me a lot of going against someone like Nurse, where it's almost a different game that you're playing.
Yeah.
Pinhead?
Not Pinhead. Sorry. Pyramid Head.
Thank you.
I was going along with it. It was good.
I was gonna say.
Pyramid Head. It's a totally different game.
Mm-hmm.
As a survivor, you have to think about everything in a much different way, and you have to be prepared for things like borrowed time no longer being effective, which can be kind of a make or break thing sometimes. Hashtag fantastic. That's right, chat.
Oh my word! No, not like this. I will
So
say.
it's
Go ahead. Sorry.
no, it's just it's always interesting to either be in a Pyramid Head game or to watch somebody play, because it's just so different.
Mhm.
You have to like strategize very differently, and sometimes mistakes can be punished more heavily.
It's true.
The thing that I will always say is that if the killer really wants someone dead, the amount of effort you have to expend to make sure that survivor doesn't die is excruciating. That's what I've always experienced when playing against Pyramid Head. It's like, oh, yep, I got caged. Oh, they're coming after me. Okay, yep, I am very, very dead here. And it's just, you hold W as long as you can, because you can't stay in a tile very long. That killer will just down you so quickly in a tile because of his M2. So.
And as soon as you get a Pyramid Head who, he's just like, reading you like a book. Like, you think you're being real sneaky. You're like, surely they won't expect this.
But
And
those
then suddenly
predictions
through the wall comes this beautiful trail of red and blood. And you're like, wow, I hate it here.
Fair. I mean, I think most survivors hated on Midwich, but that was one of the interesting things to come out, was that I didn't think that Midwich would be the most killer sided as far as kill rates for maps. And I'm wondering if it's just because it's like a maze for newer survivors, or if it's because there's like some dead rooms or something. I don't know.
I'm honestly not that surprised.
No.
Because
Really?
it's not a big, and you've got all of these long corridors, which, work really well for certain killers. Once
Trickster.
once you've played the map long enough, you realize that there's like a million tiles that you can run. There's a million great pallets you can use in the classrooms, but there's also a ton of things to get stuck on. And
I will say, I do think for newer survivors, the thing that can be difficult about Midwich is because, yes, you do have all those great pallets and those great tiles in the classrooms, but unless you're dodging into those rooms, you're sticking to the halls.
and that's bad
And that
news.
is just, you got to have that hall pass if you're going to stay out there.
It that was really nice. Well done.
Thank you.
Uh,
I'll be here all day.
yeah, it doesn't really surprise me that had the most. I mean, I would have thought that or Shelter Woods, where there are 3 pallets and 2 tiles and a tree.
See,
So.
it's crazy because the same things that like make it a struggle for survivors often make it a struggle for a lot of just basic M1 killers. And and it's the M1 killer, like anything from Legion, Trapper, Freddy, like anyone that doesn't have like a specific M2 ability that's really good, because the same restriction, right? Especially the top floor, because the top floor just has so little room to work with. But bottom floor, at least you have that center area to walk around in occasionally. Getting from point A to point B for survivors is tough, but you've got 4 survivors to get from point A to point B. The killer has like very few modes of transportation if they don't have some kind of like teleport or something.
That is true.
So
yeah, Midwich with the hag is so fun.
Oh goodness,
It's
yeah.
brilliant.
Midwich Hag is actually unreasonably good. That's a very fair point.
You
That's a
can
very
do
fair
Midwich
point.
hag with no add-ons and
Mhm.
completely roll, just
Yeah.
because it's such a small map.
It is a very small map, and yeah, once some of those pallets are gone, if she holds down an area, yeah, there's not much you can do. And I think that's the other thing too, is that I think if they just added a couple more pallets to Midwich, it'd be fine. I think there's at least one room that is a complete nutter dead zone because there's no pallet in it. And
The room
then
with the desks,
I'm not
there nothing there.
Yeah, I'm not entirely for putting just more god pallets on that map, but you probably could afford to put maybe 1 or 2 pallets on the top floor that are in the hallways potentially.
True.
I don't know how I feel about that entirely, but it at least gives the survivor something to work with there. I don't know. I don't want them to do too much to it, because I don't want it to be like the game, where the game was a relatively killer-sided map, and then it's just like, oh, what's that? Pallets
20 god
everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, don't do that to Midwich. We don't need another instance of the game happening, but I think they could afford to put like maybe 4 or 5 more pallets on that map, probably in strategic locations to get away with it.
I mean, I do think the thought of a pallet or 2 in the hallways is an interesting thought.
We have similar things on Larry's, and RPD have the same thing. However, RPD has too many of them. Too many. But
so, sorry, slightly off topic because we're talking about maps, and I'm real curious about this. What are you thinking about the fact that they're reworking Haddonfield right now?
I think I've said it before once or twice. As long as they don't screw up the collision, because again, for all the flaws of Haddonfield as far as design, has some of the best programmed collision in the game of Dead by Daylight. Like playing Trickster, if there's a hole that's like the size of like a fence, like you can throw through it. Like the collision is perfect. So please don't mess with the collision. As long as they just, like, I know that they can't like take out the second story buildings, like just as long as you don't put any god windows anywhere, you fix House of Pain and just trim the hedges. There's no reason for the hedges to be that long and that tall. Just trim them a bit.
Hedges, I'll tell you, I get stuck on the hedges as a survivor all the time.
It's so annoying.
I will say, I wish on maps like Haddonfield, they would turn some of the pre-existing items into vaultable places, right? Like you've got those park benches. Like, make that vaultable.
I could see that. I
mean, people.
But it would have to replace other vaultable.
No, and I agree. But I just think that would bring a little bit
stylistically.
Yeah, it would just bring a little bit of something new to the game. Because I mean, think about all of the people in real life that will
parkour,
do things like that, right? Like, be a little bit. I mean, I don't want to say be more creative, but I do think that you could replace a couple of the existing vaultable items and bring in something like that.
But
I can see that.
We are headed elsewhere.
We are headed to I'm sorry. I should have mentioned this before. We're playing Wrecker's Yard as Executioner, so this is going to be spicy. I think Pyramid can hold down this map really, really well. It's nice and contained. You've got that center basement, and I think we're going to see a really strong Executioner game, but here we go. We're starting. And we see his corrupt zone is, it's a little bit stronger. Actually, look at that leftmost gen. There's actually a gen next to that. So he's actually got a pretty good spot. Oh, and he immediately spawns a survivor over here. That was a very, very quick spawn. And yeah, everybody's going to be running from here.
2, 3.
Oh, wow.
No.
They take the Shroud of Binding, so they all start together. So the survivors have to like split out. So, and they knew that too. And Clyde was doing a smart job leading him away from the pack, but Pyramid had read that and is going to get his first hit on Leon here. He's lining up his M2. Does he get the shot? No, he does not. They are going to be able to get away. And they drop that pallet very quickly. I don't want to take any chances. You don't want to say animation locked against this killer's a thing. If you say animation locked, you're going to go down.
Mm-hmm. That is absolutely for sure.
Good mind game there.
Is exactly like something that I do. I run and I'm like, I'm not going to throw this pallet because I will get hit. And then I throw the pallet, and surprisingly, I get hit. So.
Oh no! Who would have guessed?
Well, you know what, Rugaard? I don't appreciate yourself.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'll just be like Mr. Beautiful over here and take my first hook, and you guys can have the show. Bye. I'll see you there. I'm kidding.
Don't go.
Don't go. Not like this. Okay, so they do get it first. I was really curious. I was like, that chase went on long enough that I would have expected Gen here. And, oh, okay, we see a 4th gen over there getting corrupted, so that is now Deadlock being shown to us. So,
which has been a perk that we've seen on almost most of the killers that we've watched so far have had Deadlock.
Ooh, flashbang! He gets the blind.
Oh, that was spicy.
And he gets the unhook for it.
Spicy and the
Nicely
unhook.
done.
That was fantastic. I think he waited for the killer blind because it'll show up as a point reward on your screen. I think he waited for the notification before going for it. That was a beautiful blind.
Very, very smart on the Felix's part.
And that was Felix with the borrowed time. So.
And if we saw the same thing as we saw last time, Felix had deliverance. So Felix has his deliverance now, and he's body blocking for the Felix. I'm sorry, for the Leon. Dadgummit, why is there 2 males that look like each other?
I'm surprised he didn't want to necessarily take a hit on the Felix though.
I think it gives more chances for him to get away. Oh, but Kashak, oh no. Oh no, that's so bad for him.
Oh boy.
If he's on with Deliverance, he can't use Deliverance now. He's gonna get caged.
That will be a
very smart play on our killer's part.
That is very smart. But the question is, will the killer remember that Felix had Deliverance in the last match?
Ooh, and he comes in to take the body block at the last possibility. Leon was
wow.
going down there. He was going down without a doubt, and that Felix is an absolutely brave soul. Ooh.
Wow,
Felix out here being...
These two. If this were a public match and I were the killer, I'd be saying these two are a couple of chuckleheads coming in and blocking for each other and being all good and stuff. How dare they?
And there is Felix caged, so we will have to see if that renders the Deliverance useless.
It does.
I'm about to say, I think if they kept the build,
for sure.
yeah, if they kept the same builds and then switch off, that Deliverance is out of here. As well as the Decisive, well, not Decisive Strike entirely, but we might see it later on, I don't know. But Fang also taking a hit for Leon here.
Fang is definitely picking up where Felix left off.
Yeah, they did a Jin in time, so the Survivors are doing a good job rotating here. And I think he really wants this Leon just because there's a very good chance that this is the most, not the easiest target per se, but the target that the Survivors really do not want him to take.
This Leon is, they are good. They're doing a great job mind gaming.
Oh, and he gets tormented though. So this, yeah, I imagine we're gonna see a cage here. Yep, we'll see a cage, and I imagine it's gonna be an easy tunnel after this. However, they've got time. Survivors can still push the gens out here and get this. That, for all it's worth, that was a very, very long chase to get that Leon down.
Yes, it was.
And we'll just have to see how they deal with it here. Yeah. Yeah, another gen popping there. Fang is here to take the body block again. They're doing a phenomenal job trying to keep this Leon alive. Fang's like, you know what? You can have me. I just don't want this Leon going down. Oh!
That is a heartbreaker.
Resilience? A dead heart from the... Oh my goodness, what is going on? There's so many survivors here in one spot. Fang is going to take a hit there and get teleported into oblivion. Okay, there they are. I hate it when that happens.
This team is doing altruism, but in a very, very smart way because it is so easy to fall into the trap of just being too altruistic and everyone taking hits for your teammate and everyone going down and everybody
We don't know
dies.
anything about that.
No, we absolutely would not do that. We don't know anything about that. We play like this, very smart altruism, where you're taking hits, but you're resetting and you are taking measured risks. It's really quite impressive to see.
It is very impressive, and you know it is
good hit
about
there.
Knowing what has happened and remembering who has had what been done.
Oh, I see you guys are very adept at this.
Games, right? It's like playing card games. You have to remember what cards have been played to know where to go.
I don't know if they saw Leon there. We saw the Claudette. Leon was on the other side of the map. They have done a really good job. This is again why I believe Medal of Man is banned, is because you've seen how many protection hit these survivors have taken.
Yes.
If they had Medal of Man, it just gave them a free hit. That would be so soul crushing as a killer.
Yes.
And we know that this Claudette does not have Dead Hard. They are going to go down here. As actually, so yeah, you leave them slugged, and this is actually a really nasty spot for these survivors to come out of. Kashak might be going to Death Hook here. They need to reset the Fang and go for a save, or they might just try and get a gen done here. Oh, here comes Leon.
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Can you get it in time?
Now you play our favorite game.
Yo, it's always the third try. It's always the third try. And smart, leaving him slugged.
A very bad position. If they don't get that Claudette up, ooh, this is so sketchy.
The survivors did such a good job for a long while there of making sure someone didn't get cuddled out, and I think they didn't get enough resets in time.
I think if the Claude could have run him for a little bit longer and given someone the chance to go grab Felix, they'd still be in an okay position. But unfortunately, the Claude went down quickly, and he was able to just get back to Hook before anyone could grab him. So this is a...
And Claude is still down,
which
makes me wonder where Fang is and what she's doing.
This is a devastating turn of events. This is hard to watch.
I'm curious what the exit gates are like, because in this situation, Hatch is going to spawn right in the center of the map. Okay, they do finish a gen. So another bit of points for the survivors. So the survivors are not giving up here. They're getting as many points as they can, but this is Claudette's first hook. They can't Kobe. I don't see this, like the Fang's gonna be like, they're gonna make noise. I don't know how they're gonna reset. I think the med kit's already been used up. I don't know how they're going to get a reset here and get the save and maybe even get an out here. I think the exit. Yeah, look at those exit gates. The Pyramid Head can control those. I think this is going to end up being a 4K here.
This is rough, and it's so unfortunate because they started off so strong. They were doing such a good job managing.
They did a really good job.
Who's going down and everything, but
And Leon, man, in the beginning of the match, just ran like it was nobody's business.
That's a very good point. That Leon did a. I didn't think we were gonna get this far, honestly. I thought the Pyramid Head was gonna get ran. They were gonna get gems jammed in their face, and it was gonna be at least a 3 out, maybe a 2 out. And here we are.
it just goes to show
I don't
you
know where they went wrong. I think
you
maybe
never
it was
know
not
what's gonna
resetting.
happen.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the plan there was to, instead of taking so many hits for Leon like they did and just letting him let Leon die. I'm not really sure here.
Yeah.
I don't know what these survivors could have done differently. Wait, did we see Fang running back there? I thought we might have. If they get an unhook here, they could get another gen done. No, they die. Okay, so yeah, Pyramid Head knows exactly where this is gonna spawn, and I think he can patrol these exit gates. We'll see if Fang can pull something out here. I don't expect him to be able to get out. Look at how close those exit gates are.
How to use the escape trick effectively.
That's right.
Oh. And Pyramid Head has no ed, so he's going to be 4% faster. So he's going to be controlling these gens at 119%.
Oh, he knows.
Yes, he does.
That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, look at these
For
exit
anyone
gates.
who doesn't know, the escape trick is when you go to one of your gates, you pull the lever until it gets to the E in escape. You let go.
The first E, rather.
The first E. You walk away. You wait for the killer to come over and check the gate and go back to the other one, and then you go up and you finish it. And it
That's
gives
right.
you. Oh, she knows.
And
Yeah,
the
she
reason
knows.
for that is because the light does
Dead
not
hard.
come.
Cheeky
Nicely
dead hard,
done.
though.
Nicely done.
The disrespect.
As all good things should.
The disrespect.
As she should.
I love it.
We love this.
You know, I can appreciate that because there's no way they're getting out of here. You can check these.
No.
You can check these exit gates so perfectly. So I will say I've seen other. There's a second one that's not used as commonly, especially when the exit gates are this close. Is going to an exit gate and actually turning it to the red, getting that first red dot, and then sneaking all the way back around to the one that is not being worked on and getting it done while the killer checks that.
Wow.
Interesting. I've never actually thought about doing that, but that is.
I've thought about it, but I've always been like, no, I'll get caught.
You have to be
Because I
incredibly
would.
sneaky. There's 2 unbreakables here. Ref?
What? That is a
That
problem.
is not good.
Is there a new rule that will allow us 2 unbreakables? I thought it was 2 borrow times.
No, it's 2 borrowed.
Okay.
So hold on a second.
And we have 2 borrowed.
Yeah. This is why I go and check. Like, I'm not trying to look for penalties, but I am curious
No,
what
no.
builds are what.
That was my bad because I saw Mr. Beautiful. He sent 2 screenshots as
Oh.
he updated something, and I think I just saw the unbreakable and went with it, not thinking about it. So that's totally on me.
Oh, okay. Well, I will say it didn't come to help the survivors in the end, unfortunately. So,
Did not.
regardless, I will say a well-earned 4K from this executioner. I think they. I thought the survivors played incredibly well, and they still managed to come out on top regardless. That was very, very strong.
I am incredibly surprised by the outcome of that. I thought, but that's happened so many times in so many of the matches we've watched.
True.
You think it's going to go one way. It feels so certain that it's going to go one way. And then one mistake. DVD is a game of mistakes. Mistakes that the killers make, mistakes that the survivors make. One mistake can completely turn the tide in either direction, which is one of the coolest and most interesting parts about the game.
True. It is a very, very swinging game. And I have to agree. Those tend to also be my favorite games, is when it just swings back and forth like that so insanely. I love that. I enjoy that very, very much. So, well, obviously, so it's also worth noting, They're playing Executioner again. So Deadheads is going to be swinging back with their own Executioner. And I'm very curious to see how they respond, if it's going to be a similar style. I also want to see how these survivors tackle execution on this map. So it's going to be a cool dichotomy to see how, both sides play it. I wonder if, Shadow Wolves will be nearly as altruistic here. Or if they'll, if they'll let someone get tunnels, like, you know what? You can get tunneled. We're going to split these gens real quick. You get one gen done in the beginning of the chase. 45 seconds with 2 people on it, and then if you get the hook and they camp it or try and tunnel person off, you set everybody else to other gens and you get 3 more to pop.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm curious if we're gonna see the antithesis of this game where there's no altruism. I don't know if that's a play or not, but I'm curious to see if that'll be the way it goes.
Well, it's always interesting to see how a team values its altruism, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because for the two of us, when Junie and I are playing, we are sisters in real life,
Obviously.
I don't know why I said in real life, like there would be any other option. There are no sibling couples in the game, but
we're siblings, IRC.
That's not true. Charlotte.
Oh, that's right. You're right. There's Charlotte and Victor.
Yeah.
How could I forget?
I hate to interrupt.
Ultimate.
What's up?
Sorry, Rue, can you accept DH Cookies invite on DVD? Not on Steam, it's on DVD.
Oh, it's on DVD. Okay, I was switching back and forth. I was like, I don't see an invite here. Okay, yeah, I can do that. Thank you. Go ahead. Sorry.
The two of us are very foolish in our altruism. We are, despite it being a game, we will always try to get the other one up to the point where if someone downs Junie and they've just been tunneling her the whole game and they down her and I'm behind her trying to take a hit, I will turn around and stop and stare at the killer and shake my head at them. And you'd be surprised at how many times they respect it and let me pick her up. But a lot of the times I will go down. But I mean, we're very
strong
foolish.
Vibes.
We're very foolish in that way, because for us, that's kind of the thing is we want to be playing together or we don't really want to be playing that much.
Yep.
So there is definitely, the solo queue experience, which is so different, right? The solo queue experience, you have to be so selfish.
Yep.
Because
it's true.
Because you have very little control over what's going on in that case. I think, there are people who have done some series on YouTube where they have played a solo queue and they've been trying to, accomplish certain goals. And it's so, for us, it's kind of soul crushing to watch in a way because you're like, that person's on first hook. You're really not going to go try and get them.
Yeah.
But they're all, when you're playing solo queue, you're constantly thinking about me. How do I get out? How do I get the most points for myself? And it's, in comp, there has to be such a balance to that. We see very readily that in our first match, they left I think it was the Quentin to die on hook. Junie and I would have gone back because we will always make an attempt, even if we can't do it.
Crazy Ivan it.
We'll always do, something to try. But in comp, you have to think about the points, which is just such a different mindset. And so I think it will be really interesting to see how this team plays with their altruism versus the last team who played super, super altruistically. And ultimately, it didn't end up that great for them. So.
No, I couldn't agree more. And that's actually one of the things I really like about competitive is that I don't want to hate on the devs too much, but it annoys me that there is no clear defined win condition for either side. It's kind of just either individually set or community based ish, whereas comp is a definitive set of rules, structure, and points as to this is a win, this is a loss.
Yep.
And I think that's why games like VHS are going to do well, is because VHS has a clear set of win conditions. One side dies. That's it. There's no middle ground. One side has to die.
Yep.
And for survivors, it's is a 3 out a win? Well, okay, well, if you got a 3 out, how many hook states do you give them? You give them 2 hook states, 3 out? Yeah, I'd say that's generally a win.
Well,
unless you're playing a trapper and you've got, a Gucci squad, and then case I'll take the trapper side at that point, dang.
But I mean, here's the thing. We've all just been very clearly told that if you get 2 kills face camping versus 8 hook states, 1 is a win and 1 is not, which is
true.
Disappointing, but also kind of proves your point, right? Because in my mind, 8 hook states is the win.
Yeah.
You've had to work for those things, but you haven't gotten any kills. However, it's very clear that to other people, it's all about kills. If you kill that person, then that is a win for you.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the hook versus kills debate has been at least 2 years old, if not longer at this point. I remember last year, or early last year, even in 2020, it was like a hot point of contention between I think it was Otts versus True Talent or something like that. I forget.
Oh,
I forget
boy.
who was on what side, but
Yeah, it sure was.
and
well, I think
appreciate the
Otts
debate
was on this side. Yeah, I think Otts was on the side of, well, I mean, isn't it Otts who considers 3 kills and a gifted hatch
A 4K.
A 4K?
Mhm.
And True doesn't. I don't believe True stood on that same side.
I think True thought that Otts was doing too much camping in his like win streak videos. He was saying it's really easy to just like get 4Ks if you just play really sweaty and you camp and you never like. Or something. It was very stupid. It ended up being a very petty argument.
Yeah, that is fair. I will say most of these do devolve into petty arguments. It's very little actual debate. But I think it was enlightening to see when True went against, I think it was Oracle with a couple matches against Wraith, and the not using the camping strat didn't, like, there's a reason that at certain times camping or proxying is a very, very strategic move. And there are obviously times where that just does not work. If you do not get an early hook or something and you decide to camp it, you're probably about to lose 4 gens, right?
Right. Well, and there's also a big difference between, let's say you've got someone on a hook, they're on their second hook, and everyone is trying to come rescue. There's a big difference between camping somebody who's on second hook and immediately hooking one person and standing there until they die.
Correct.
One is a strategy, the other is a mistake. Because in almost every case, when we go against a killer who just hooks somebody in base camp, they will get 1, maybe 2 kills, because the survivors these days are all wise enough to know that you just sit gens. You don't go for it.
You say that, but I still hear so many people say it's like, oh, the no-ed face camping Bubba, got a 3K. It's like, people still don't realize that's how you just get rid of those killers. I mean, you're not going to change how they play because there's a reason they do that every single game. I don't know why, but I will never understand the mentality. But it seems like survivors still don't realize that that's just the way you do it. You take the chase as long as possible, and then you just do gens the entire time.
And then
I think it's easier when you're swiffing because you have that communication. You can tell your teammates, don't come for me. They're standing here. Don't worry about it. Get gens, get out.
Oh, you know what it is
if
too.
You're solo queuing against that. It's a little bit different.
Whenever we're streaming and that happens, we'll always say, "Hey, bonus friends, if you're in stream, don't come get us. Like, do the gens and leave." Well, sometimes they are and sometimes they're not. But we went up against a notorious blackface camping Bubba, who is a streamer, and we've actually been up against them multiple times, I think. And
really?
They proudly just face camp, and their motto is essentially smart survivors will do gens and leave. And if you leave, he says, GG's, great game, you did the right thing, you made the right choice. Right?
Interesting.
But it feels so gross.
It does.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't, because at the heart of it, DBD is a team game.
Yeah.
It is about, in our opinion, it is about getting everybody out, or doing your best
on the survivor side.
Yeah,
right.
Doing your best to get everyone out, right? You feel the best when you've been able to help your team and communicate and be productive member and get everyone out. So it feels so gross to sit and be like, the only thing I can do right now is not give this person the satisfaction.
No, that's entirely fair.
But again, there are times when camping is a viable strat, but I firmly believe in what I said. One is a mistake and one is a good strategy.
That's fair. I will say also, I think the reason, and you even hit on it when you said, like, with teams that you can tell them to go, if you're doing solo queue and the Bubba finds you and he face camps you, a lot of the time I think survivors are gonna be like, bump this noise. 3 Kobe attempts, kills themselves on second hook.
Yeah,
And so you never get the full 120 seconds of hook time. If every survivor just took the lump of sitting on there for 120 seconds, I think we would see less of it. So
I 100%
And the thing is, I can't even blame the survivor. I get it. That's annoying. I totally get it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
The thing, I urge any survivors who are here today, if that happens to you,
Punish
to
it.
play the team game and punish them. That's exactly what you do. You hold on as long as you can, and you punish them for making a foolish decision.
Because if they're standing in front of you camping, they are not
Keeping
getting
you off
any.
gens.
They're not getting anything else accomplished.
And then
Your teammates are getting gens completed. They're gonna get out.
once you get to the end game and you open the exit gate, you teabag and click at them,
There you go. That's the good stuff.
and then they know.
So we're just heads up. We are heading into the final game of this set and match. Previous game was 24-6. Wait, did they get 4 generators done? I thought Fang, while Claudette was on hook at the end, did she
They
get a 4th
did,
gen?
yeah.
They got 4.
They got 4 done.
They got
Did?
4 done.
Yeah, they got
They
4
did
done.
get 4 done, but
Yeah.
there is a penalty for the 2 unbreakables, so I just
Okay.
took off a gen.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, I didn't.
It makes it easier for the point system to do it that way.
All right, thank you. I appreciate the confirmation. I was like, wait, hold on. I thought it was a gen. Okay, we're good to go.
No, you're good.
Also, shout out to Shelby for being an excellent ref.
Oh
That's
yeah,
right.
for sure. They are doing the Lord's work over here, being our ref for today. And with that, we're off to the races. We got Pyramid Head, and they
He's
have
already
found.
spotted. Yep.
Did they
Someone
see
is
that
back.
Nancy?
Was
Yeah.
it Quentin?
I thought that was. Okay, so they found a Quentin.
It
There was
was.
Nancy over there, so they didn't want to go for them. And immediately, not taking any chances, they are going to drop that pallet on Pyramid's head. I was about to say there's no forehead there.
They got that stun though, which we all
They
know
did.
is not an overly common thing to do with a pyramid head. So
True.
You'll see a lot of playing safe around pallets, and not as much just going for it.
Oh, he did get the torment.
Oh,
Oh no, they played into it.
No,
He played into the torment.
that was very patient.
Mm-hmm. Very, very patient. And the survivors are working on gens already outside the corrupt zone, so they're not wasting any time. A minute has expired, and this Quentin is still holding W here. However, this is a fairly unsafe unsafe tile against Pyramid. It does
Ooh.
dodge though. Wow,
Wow.
wow.
that was impressive.
He dodged that at the last second too. That was wow.
Ooh, good one there too. Quentin is doing a
Quentin
very
is-
good job.
He's wasting
He
a
is-
lot of their time.
He is reading this pyramid head.
Oh, just
spoke
flipped
too
on the
soon.
ankle.
It's pretty smart to cage there. Just because Nancy, what are you doing?
What? Nancy, why?
You
Nancy,
didn't
I don't
need
think we
to.
saw you. Why did you do that? Oh, no.
Nancy.
Ooh,
Nancy,
good
I'm
mind
very
game.
confused. Maybe she wanted to take aggro proactively so we wouldn't immediately go to the cage.
that is a thought
That's
Which-
a very good point.
because Quentin is now out.
That gives him time to heal. But she is now tormented. Oh,
Oh,
cheeky blind
oh,
and the
the
slap, the
nice.
indignity of it.
Well
love to see
played.
it.
It's worth noting we are outside the corrupt time, and there is a gen block, so I do believe deadlock is on the table. I'm wondering if they're going to be playing a somewhat similar build as what we saw beforehand. Oh, that hit though.
Ooh.
That was a gorgeous hit, and Nancy is tormented still. They are pre-dropping all these pallets. They go to the. That's actually so safe. I would have stayed up there for potentially. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that I would have thrown that pallet there quite yet. I might have tried to fake that a little bit because that's a very good pallet.
Another gen finishing up, and the
Oh.
not falling for the mind game there as Nancy ducks in and continues holding W. So does the Pyramid Head, and they are going to get it down here on Nancy. They're going to go for the hook though, so they might be smelling DS on this survivor, or maybe it's just I don't know. Maybe it's handy for them to hook here. And there we see
They
we see
might
that.
also forgotten, which seems unlikely, but I'll tell you, there are a number of times when I'll forget to put a hat on someone's head as a pig. So
You know, I feel that. I did that a lot yesterday.
why? I thought you were gonna be like, I did that a lot when I started playing pig 4 years ago. No. I did that a lot yesterday.
No, I am always up for being brain dead. It happens. Ooh, but Nancy's still
Oh,
here.
boy.
Oh yeah. Oh, is that a sprint burst? I think. She got some distance there. I'm wondering if that might have been sprint burst. But this Nancy is in a heap of trouble here. Ooh, good job not doubling back there into it.
They tried.
They're switching up the mind games though, so really well done here.
So it seems like they are also playing fairly altruistically. I would argue that perhaps they're doing it in a slightly Well, no.
Yeah, see, they
I was
broke
gonna say,
off there. They're
might
not as altruistic.
they're not as altruistic, but they are certainly coming in and trying to buy a little more time for people, which is good.
Yeah, and it is worth noting, Pyramid Head has 3 gens done already. So these survivors, they must be doing something right, because so far it seems to be working out for them. And Nancy doubling back there. Look, like, she keeps switching up her mind games, and it is working so well, because the Pyramid Head is constantly guessing here. Can he get this M2 or not? He does. A fantastic shot there. And I believe there's going to be a cage here. Yep, there we see the cage. The survivor is ready to be tunneled out. I don't know if it's... I think it might be too late, potentially, to tunnel out the survivor. Look how far this gen is done.
Oh, boy.
Actually, they might be doing the anti-deadlock strat, where they have that gen 99, and they're working on another gen.
I think you might be right. I think these survivors have played this exactly right, and I think that Nancy...
Oh, the blinds! I heard it get dropped. I didn't know she played around it. Sorry.
No, she did exactly what she needed to do. She bought them so much time. And, I think you're right. I think they are trying to play around deadlock.
But she is now out of the cage and healed again, so...
That was a very quick heal, and they are...
It was.
Good reset on this team for sure. And
the survivors seem to be sitting in a pretty good spot.
Yeah. We see scratch marks over. They think they touched that gen. Yeah, they did just touch that gen. It's back to 99. And they do find Nancy. I think this might be intentional. I think it might be, hey, why don't you come, chase me again and let my survivor friends finish these 2 gens? I mean, all they need to do is all they have to do is deny the 4K, and they get the win for the set.
I think you're right. I think this Nancy is saying, let me run him as long as I can. I've got this.
Actually,
and you guys get it done.
They need to do one more gen now that I think about it, because yeah, it's 6 to 24. If the survivors just get one more gen, even if the Pyramid Head here gets gets the 4K, it's not gonna be enough to bring him back for the set. I just not realized that.
They have done an excellent job.
Oh, for sure. Who could double back?
And
Nancy
is just unbelievable.
This is the definition of not letting the killer, not training yourself. Like not showing the killer your cards the whole time, of making them think you're gonna do one thing the whole time and then constantly changing it.
And there's Quentin.
This is.
And we see that they did get that 4th gen done, so they are down to 1 gen left. And we know that it's at 99.
It was a masterclass in looping by the Nancy, though.
We just saw where Quentin went because of that more. That was interesting, but they did a really good job. Like, I don't know if you guys saw it, but they almost hit the Quentin in the corner. They correctly identified where they were going. They just overcorrected, I think. And yeah, there's that gen 99. They aren't finishing it, though. If they have another generator ready to pop, I'm going to be flabbergasted. They're two survivors over here, though.
It wouldn't surprise me. They've been playing this so smart.
Yes, they have.
But it's like the ultimate flex when survivors do 6 gens, not 5. Ooh, good double back from this one. These survivors have such intuitive randomized mind games against this killer. We see a constant mixture of doubling back, holding forward, and just really doing a good job of cat and mousing this killer. They really came prepared for execution, I feel like.
Yes, they did.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, wow, wow.
Oh, and they didn't. They sold. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And there it goes. That is the 5th gen.
Wow, that was beautifully played.
We see
and an
No Way Out.
adrenaline.
Yep, adrenaline. We see No Way Out. They found Noed.
Oh no.
She does go down here.
Well,
she should be able to call it out, but will he?
Depends on where he hooks her, if they can get it or not.
I think they just take the out. I don't think they even care. They know that they get the win. If they did all the gens, even if they, even if they 4K here, I don't think it's enough. I think the survivors know that. I think all they need, if you leave, you win the set. So I think all they can hope for here is maybe get enough points, maybe call it the match. Shadow Wolves won the first set, right?
Yes.
So I think this is gonna be a set match for Shadow Wolves potentially here. We'll have to wait for the points to come in, but also I love that it's the current points is 69 42, like it's 420. Nice. Just saying. But yeah, I think the survivors are just going to they're gonna wait this out, I believe. Well, I could be wrong. They could try to go. Yeah, I'm about to say they're waiting for No Way Out to expire and just get the 2 out here. I don't imagine you come back in for this, right?
See, and here's the thing. It's it's so hard because it makes perfect sense points wise to just leave. And also
It hurts.
I'm like, she's on first hook. I would totally go. I'm an idiot. I'm the idiot who would go,
Well, it'd be one thing if Noed wasn't there, but that was right next to Noed.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
Yes, it was.
I'd still go.
It was a well-placed hook.
Rugaard, we are foolishly altruistic. we
Because-
would go.
Ooh.
See, the thing is that I run borrowed time 100% of the time, so I would go and die for my teammate so they could get out.
Yeah, but I'd be cleansing that totem while you go down.
That's true.
This is super
It would
nasty.
be- Yeah.
I dig this. I like this a lot. Also,
Ooh,
one
that for the
thing
people.
for the homies.
For the homies! Oh
Hell
my
yes.
God.
Hell
So
yes.
good.
How do you feel about the for the homies play here?
I love that.
Normally,
I love it.
when I see for the people, it's usually on the person with adrenaline. So, interesting pick, but regardless, I think we're seeing those points come in, and it looks like it's 74 to 45 in favor of Shadow Wolves. So, Shadow Wolves will be taking this set, the first set, and the match point. So, congratulations and well played to Shadow Wolves. Good job, Deadheads.
Wow.
Didn't quite pull it out this time. Maybe next week, but fantastic job all the way around. Some really good games. I really enjoyed this set.
Fantastic. It was wonderful to watch them both play and see what they brought to the table.
That was excellent.
Couldn't agree more. That was very, very fun. Some very swingy games. I really enjoy. I enjoyed the execution games, even though that last one didn't go so well for the executioner. I loved the just the survivor counterplay was so strong. So saw both sides, like some really good shots on the first Pyramid Head, really good mind games on the second one. So we saw, like we said, the dichotomy about how different teams play against it was very fun. Any killer you enjoyed watching today?
I won't lie. I loved watching the Death Slinger.
Oh, I have to
I
agree.
thought that was just a beautiful, beautiful match.
I agree that match had a lot of oh my god moments that were just so impressive. Their aim and their reaction time and speed was just that was excellent.
It
It was
really
very, very fun. But with that said, that is the end of match one. Don't worry, we got more matches coming up for you. We have Divine versus How Do We Get Here coming up in just about 30 minutes. And we will be joined again by the lovely, who are you two again?
Oh, we're JuniKoh.
That's right.
And where can we find you next time you go live?
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry.
Plug.
You can hold on. I got
Plug.
this. You can find us at twitch.tv/JuniKoh. We do stream 5 nights a week. We play a variety of games, but primarily we do play Dead by Daylight. You can see us playing Survivor most of the times. And sometimes if you catch us on the end, you might see a cheeky killer match by one of our poodles.
It is actually quite enjoyable to watch, especially since one of them plays Trickster now.
Yeah,
That's right.
she does.
That's
She's
right.
getting good.
And I am your host, littlerugaard. I will be hosting Champs of the Fog from almost the entirety of the season. We will be back again next match. Divine, How Do We Get Here? You don't want to miss it. And thank you for watching. This has been Champions of the Fog. We'll see you in about 30 minutes from now.
Bye, y'all.